Oh, so it already does start. Yes. Yep. There. Careful, don't pull too hard. Hi. I have a quick announcement. I just have a quick request. Could any of our new members who have joined in the past year or so go on back down to the photo booth in the back corner? That'd be great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I know you are still busy getting pictures and chatting and we're so happy to have you here and happy that you're all commiserating and having fun. We actually do need to start because you're not going to want to be here late. So we definitely wanted to start on time so that we end on time for everybody. And I just want to welcome you all for being at our 75th Diamond Jubilee. We are all excited. By the way, we are recording this for posterity. There's a camera, but it's only aimed up here. And unless you come up here, you're not going to be on the camera. But I was told I just need to warn you in case that's a problem. I'm Patricia Stubbs, the president of the Redlands branch, and I'm so excited, nervous, but excited. I want to send out a huge thank you to the 75th Diamond Jubilee Committee for putting this all together. Would you all stand, please? There's a lot of us here that were on this committee, and it was a big deal. Thank you, ladies. Takes a village. You know, next I'd like to thank the people who donated to the AAUW to help us fund this event and fund AAUW. We really appreciated that. We won't make you stand, but we'll all applaud for you. Thank you for your generosity. We would also like all the past presidents to stand and be acknowledged for all their efforts in the past and still ongoing. We have a wonderful group of hardworking presidents past, and they're working on into the future. Thank you, ladies. We have a category of service in AAUW titled Named Gift Honoree. And this is a member who has been recognized by past named gift honorees for their service. And I'd like all of you to stand up if you don't mind. And we're gonna just honor you because our named gift honorees have done so much work for this organization and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you. I'm not sure if our guests are aware, but we have a photographer in our branch, and it's Deborah Sibley, and she's back there. There she is. Deborah, thank you so much. She's always here taking pictures, and they're very good. I want to, let me see. Is this my clicker? Ah, okay. There we go. So isn't that gorgeous? Amy Bisek has done all of this gorgeous work. She's incredibly talented. I don't think we pay her enough, really. I'd like to congratulate Alita West. She's at table 8 at Patty Ahern's table. You don't have to get up, but just go ahead, Patty, and raise your hand. And there's Lita. There she is. Thank you. As I said, Alita is our longest serving member. She joined AAUW in 1959 and was named gift honoree in 1978 and president in 1980 to 81. And we have learned that when Alita moved to Mission Commons, her president's pin was lost. And tonight we are happy to present her with a new pin to replace the one that she lost. Catherine's giving it to her now. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Marilyn Shanker. She is our president-elect, and I'm so lucky to have her. Well, they make a call with the, oh, yeah. Talk right up to the mic.
Okay.
No, turn it back.
It's so nice to see so many friends, old and new, here tonight. It's real wonderful to see this room so full. So thank you for all coming. First, I'd like to thank tonight's greeters. Teresa Lance and Susan Willis were on hand to help out today, as was Pam Ford. And and a few others just stepped in to help tonight, so we appreciate that very much. Also, thanks to all the volunteers at the treasurer's table and the membership table. Those are nice jobs for everyone to take a turn doing when we have our meetings. So thank you all for being good volunteers. We have many new members attending tonight. So when I call your name, please stand and we will give you a clap when everyone is standing. Mackenzie Dawes. Mackenzie, okay. Twyla Evans Carthen. Stay standing, stay standing. Marion Golson. Joyce Katkoff. Is Joyce here? There she is, okay. Keller Lubentas. Thank you. Samantha McVeigh. Jan Negron. Danita Remington. Sally Robertson. Allison Rodriguez. Aaron Sanborn. Gita Wangari. And Karen Watkins. Also, we always make an effort to celebrate people's birthday. So the women here tonight who have had a birthday in September are going to call your name. So you also will stand and then we will serenade you. Cherry Dawes. Okay. Catherine Gifford. Cassie McDuff. Renee Reswick. Okay. Sue Wallace. And Kathy Warren. And did I forget anybody? Out there lurking around that we don't know about. All right, you can start.
Okay, so we're gonna.
She's the singer in the group. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear ladies. Happy birthday to you.
I'm going to take one of those mics. You can just,
Okay.
they'll just take one. I'll be careful down the stairs. And the extra fun about the birthdays is that if you're at a table, it's your birthday, you get to take home the flowers. So at the end of the night, so happy birthday. We're going to do some table introductions. And I want you to hold your applause until the end because there is a world of wonderful people out here and you'll just be applauding too much. So at table 1, we're going to give Catherine Brown the mic. No. Yeah. We'll try the mic number 2. Or else we'll just yell.
This one says it's on. Okay, so we have a very large and welcome group from the Redlands Unified School District, starting with our superintendent, Mauricio Arellano, president of our board of trustees, Jim O'Neill, Julie Swan, director of secondary education, and then Scott Bolander, director, accountability, staff development, and school improvement. And Stephanie Locke, principal at Cope Middle School. And finally, at table 1, Christine Stevens, Public Information Officer. And then at table 4 over here, we have Dr. Kenneth Wagner, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. We have Michelle Rendler, one of the trustees of the Redlands Unified School District. Deepika Sirastava, STEAM and Innovation Coordinator. Wes Cullen, Principal, Clement Middle School. And Tamika Morris Washington, Principal, Moore Middle School. We've had a long partnership with them and we're really happy to have them here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catherine. At table 2, we are fortunate to have 3 important AAUW women that I'd like to introduce to you. And if you guys would stand, I'd appreciate it. Would Donna Lilly stand? She is the College and University Partner Chair, California AAUW. She's been here helping us set up. She has come to our events before. She was at our 25th STEM anniversary and our Elect Her workshops and college and university activities that included WorkSmart. Next is Marcia Swales, who is the State of California Membership Director, and we're very happy to have her. Thank you for coming. And Susan Negretti, who is AAUW's California Tech Track. And at table 3, I'm going to introduce guests. And the guests, if you don't mind standing from table 3, are Heidi Duran, Lorena Matarita, Trish Munoz, and Adriana Ortiz. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Going over to table 6, Ellen Grumbaum will introduce who we have there. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. I'm very happy to introduce our guests at this table. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mario Martinez, who is the Dean of the School of Education here at UC Riverside. And I mean, I'm sorry, University of Redlands. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I know that very well because I've been in his office twice. I was called to account. So, and with him is his wife, Sarah DiMarina. And Sarah was here once before also. The other guests that we have at this table are Sharon Beeler's guest, Chris Claudis, thank you. And my guest, Carol Nagengast. And Carol is from the University of New Mexico. We got to get all these universities straight. And thank you very much. And you met the other two because they're some of our new members.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At table 13, we have our former member, Karen Skoog. Karen? There she is. Hi, Karen. Thank you. And at table 14, we have Susan Bentley's guest is her daughter, Rachel Bentley, and Paula Ferry Milligan's daughter, Olivia Milligan. It's a girls' table. Mother-daughter night. Okay, just so you know, there are copies of the minutes and the financials on the back long blue table, and we are going to have a brief business meeting when all this is over. And if you would like to look at those documents, that's where they are, because we'll be voting on accepting them at the end of the meeting. We are going to begin to dismiss you for dinner. So we're going to do that from the floor. Patty. Well, that's terrible. We can't skip anybody. You know what? We didn't have you introduce your guests. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Patty.
It was just an oversight. She did
Yes,
text me
it
and
was.
wanted me to introduce. We have 2 special guests this evening from Temecula Valley branch. They came all the way up from Temecula. One is our president from Temecula Valley. This is Bobby Jessup. And the vice president of membership for their program is Betty Messias.
Wonderful.
And we also have at our table that she wanted me to introduce, but not say too much about her, was the wonderful friend that I brought this evening was Alita West.
Yes, thank you. There's so much we could say about Alita. Thank you. Now, did we miss any other people? Any other guests or? Okay, so we'll come down and dismiss you for dinner. I want to remind you all that there is dessert over there. Don't forget. Would Catherine Gifford and Diane Shimoda please come up? Oh, that sounds kind of nice. That's fun. You're supposed to kiss somebody though, right? At the wedding. There. I think we're going to go on with our program. So if you need to get up and get dessert or anything else, don't hesitate.
I don't think so. Betsy, we can use this one. That's fine. We can share this. Yeah.
Wow, the 75th anniversary of the Redlands AAUW chapter deserves a great celebration, or as we would say, party.
My turn. Looking back, what other things happened in 1947?
Gertie Corey, an American biochemist, was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in medicine and a flying disc or UFO was seen and recovered at Roswell Army Airfield. Go figure. Diane, you coordinate the adult literacy program at Smiley Library. What was the most popular book in 1947?
Does anyone have any ideas? 1947, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. A decade later, Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss was #1. Those boomers. Music changed a lot too. In 1957, the #1 song was All Shook Up by Elvis. And in 2007, it was Irreplaceable by Beyonce.
I love chatting with you, Diane, but I think we should get this party started. Everyone, let's all stand up and make a toast to the 75th anniversary of the Redlands chapter. Yes, it does look like prohibition in here, but raise a glass or a cup and toast all the women, past and present, who have been in our chapter. Hear, hear. Okay. And don't sit down. While everyone's up, let's welcome our next speakers, Susan and Barbara, by dancing to, hit it. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
We're out.
I don't think we can follow that program, so we're leaving, right? Oh, okay.
For it.
Okay. In 1947, the country was recovering from World War II. Before the war, only about 25% of the workforce was female. At the end of World War II, women made up 37% of the workforce. But federal and civilian policies began to aggressively replace women workers with men. Women were expected to go back to housewifery. So put on your apron and get in the kitchen. Like my apron. In post-war California, gas was scarce and expensive, as was childcare. Yeah. Does that like sound a little familiar? But it was still cheaper than now. Those were two of the reasons cited by members of the AAUW San Gorgonio branch when they decided to establish our local branch in 1947. On April 15th of that year, the first organizational meeting of the AAUW Redlands branch was held on campus at University of Redlands. How about that? Coincidentally, less than a month earlier in the U of R chapel and at the invitation of the Redlands chapter of the Assistance League, one of the most influential women of the 20th century, former First Lady and United Nations delegate, Eleanor Roosevelt, had delivered a speech on world peace. I know. It's easy to imagine that some of the women who attended that speech may have been among the founders of our branch. So by October of 1947, we had attracted, okay, I wasn't here at the time, but I'm just saying we, but anyway, just so you know, we had attracted 167 women as members. That's pretty incredible. I mean, gotta admit, right? And we scheduled our first regular branch meeting at the YWCA. Some of you remember we did have a YWCA, which is now the Cutler Building. Interest groups that first year included the legal status of women, social studies, literature, arts and crafts, and creative writing. Our earliest Redlands branch members were very involved in city government. We had representatives on the Redlands Area Motion Picture Council. I'm not sure what they did, but the City Housing Committee and the City Coordinating Council. One early Redlands officer, Bertha Rose Grace, operated service stationery on East State Street in Redlands, and in 1974 became the first woman elected to the Redlands City Council. This tradition of civic engagement has continued with branch past President Tony Momberger and members Denise Davis and Jenna Guzman Lowry serving on the Redlands City Council in recent years. They're all AAUW members. While the 19th Amendment brought women the vote in 1920, in many states, we still had to fight for the right to serve on a jury. AAUW and the League of Women Voters took on the battle. Finally, in 1947, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that women had that right, but made it subject to state law. Mississippi, the last state to allow women on jury panels, didn't do so until 1969. Happily, California put women on juries much earlier than this. So just be excited when you get your jury summons, because I know, yeah. I know that it's very important. It is very important. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, in one of the most popular films of 1949, Katharine Hepburn plays a married woman lawyer who argues in court that women and men should be judged equally.
The culture of the 1950s reinforced the message that women should be dependent on men, and many believed separate could be equal. Change, however, was afoot. In 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks refused a bus driver's order to vacate a row of 4 seats in the colored section in favor of a white passenger because the white section was filled. But earlier than this, in 1949, AAUW changed its bylaws to allow African-American women to join. The only requirement was a college degree. And from the start, promoting education was an important focus for our branch. For example, one branch topic meeting was, why are children dropping out of school? Good question. We began raising funds for 2 educational loans to women seniors attending a local university, probably U of R, as well as a monetary gift to a local high school graduate. Nowadays, Redlands provides scholarships, not loans. Now, I love this picture. Here you see former Redlands branch president Alida West with the late Dorothy Richardson, who joined in 1958, Deborah Lewin, who joined in 1966, and Char Burgess, a member since 1971. Alida joined our branch in 1959 with the goal of meeting other like-minded women. Now, when you look at that picture, you can't see Alida's president's pin, but past president Dorothy Nordquist, who's back there somewhere, so admired it that she often says she agreed to serve as president just so she could own one of those pins as well. And, you know, and Alida didn't even take care of hers. She had to get a second one tonight. Anyway, no. The 1960s was a time of immense social change. The civil rights movement was in full swing. Feminism was evolving. Build the bonfire, Susan. Eleanor Roosevelt became the first chair of the Presidential Commission on the Status of Women. The Feminine Mystique by Betty Friedan challenged women's traditional domestic roles in society, and Helen Gurley Brown, editor of Cosmopolitan magazine, addressed the problems and advantages of single working women in her best-selling book, Sex and the Single Girl. Susan, thank goodness for the pill. Wow. In 1963, the AAUW float in the Redlands Diamond Jubilee Parade paid tribute to the first physician in Redlands, Dr. Ellen Brown. It won the first place trophy. Nelda Stuck is here tonight. Nelda Stuck joined in 1967. Now, Nelda was new in town and wanted to connect with other women for meaningful conversations. She especially appreciated the discussion groups. Later on, as a community reporter for the Redlands Daily Facts, Nelda was responsible for providing our branch with significant positive exposure in the local press, something that many other California branches have told us they want and need.
Do you want to see the bra again? Oh, okay. During the 1970s, at the height of a new wave of feminist activism, Ellen Schollenberger, past President Kathy Presnell Best, Betty Romano, Louise Schumann, and Helen Webb, as well as the late Nancy Ruth White, Mary Jane Auerbacher, and Shirley Harlan all joined our Redlands branch. Gloria Steinem and other feminists published the first issue of Ms. Magazine. Sally Field went from portraying Gidget and the Flying Nun to union organizer number 8. I always wanted to do that. Okay. The U.S. Senate held hearings about the Equal Rights Amendment, which passed Congress with bipartisan support in 1972. Members of our branch held diverse views about the ERA. Helen Webb and Kathy Presnell Best, as well as other members, joined the National Organization for Women, which wholeheartedly supported the ERA, as did both Republican and Democrat women at the 1977 National Women's Conference. When Redlands leadership rejected Kathy's proposed program discussing the ERA and extension of the 1978 ratification deadline, she and Helen, along with some others, left Redlands and joined the San Bernardino branch, which says we don't always agree with everything, but it's okay. On the other hand, when AAUW National supported the extension of ERA ratification, some Redlands members left because they didn't support the ERA. Fortunately, in the 1990s, Kathy, Helen, and many of the other members rejoined our branch. They supported our dedication to educating women and missed participating in interest groups such as I Am, Therefore I Think, and Great Decisions. Also in the 1970s, branch members were given a choice as to how their names were to appear in the yearbook. That is, the traditional Mrs. John Doe, or the new format, Jane Doe. All 4 of the women shown in this photo served as president of our branch at one time or another. It's a great picture.
The 1980s continued to challenge AAUW members. Women of all ages locked arms in unity and spoke out on women's issues. On the national scene, Sandra Day O'Connor became the first woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, and Geraldine Ferraro became the first female vice presidential nominee from a major party. Early in the 1980s, the late Nancy Yowell, a past president, initiated an annual yard sale to provide funds for scholarships for reentry women. In 2013, we began the annual holiday boutique to support the Nancy Yowell Memorial Scholarships for women who want to resume an interrupted education. Louise Schumann and Pat Belk began holding bridge scrambles to raise even more funds for scholarships. Over the years, many tens of thousands of dollars have been raised by our branch for dozens of deserving local women. Members Jan Jacobson and Rosa Gomez are shown here with recent scholarship winners. Redlands branch members were always big readers and enjoyed reporting on and discussing books. Both the Reading and the Rainbow group and the Books on Tape group began in the 1980s. These are photos of members attending Reading and the Rainbow taken around 2009. Amber Costa, who joined in 1988, recalls that Rainbow was included in the title of the book group because earlier members had enjoyed going to and discussing plays at the Rainbow Theater, once the home of the Footlighters, located on Vine Street in Redlands, which is now a tamale restaurant. Inez's Tamales is what it's called. That's not really a plug. Included in this photo, shown holding their Books on Tape selections, our members Nelda Stuck, Ellen Schollenberger, and Amber Costa, as well as the late Mary Jane Auerbacher, a past branch president who was one of the founders of Valley Preparatory School. One of our most popular 1980s program speakers was James Fallows, a noted author and journalist for The Atlantic, who was Jimmy Carter's speechwriter from 1977 to 79. He's a Redlands native, a graduate of RHS, and the son of member, the late Gene Fallows. The Educational Foundation Committee for the Redlands branch began to partner with the Footlighters Theater in an annual fundraising event. Past President Evelyn O'Prey back there, a member since 1986, was part of that team and still serves on the event committee every year. Past Presidents Teresa Lance and Susan Willis, also here, also spent several years leading the committee for this event. It was held even in 2020 when good old COVID forced us to watch the show masked and socially distanced in the parking lot. "1992 was declared the Year of the Woman after a record number of women were elected to the Senate and the House of Representatives, influenced by Anita Hill's testimony before the all-male Senate Judiciary Committee during Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. In 1993, Ruth Bader Ginsburg became just the second woman appointed to the Supreme Court. And in 1996, Madeleine Albright became the first woman Secretary of State. In 1994, our branch officially began its financial support of the AAUW Legal Advocacy Fund. Also in the 1990s, our Community Action Project, which began its advocacy at Orangewood High School in the 1980s, created a library there and staffed it entirely with AAUW members. Recognizing the need for women to broaden their educational and career options to include more math and science, and aided by a grant from AAUW National, Redlands launched its annual Math Science Seminar for 8th grade girls in 1995 at the University of Redlands. This slide includes photos taken in 1996 at the second conference, including one of past President Susan Keene. She, along with other past presidents, the late Edna Steinman and Kay Dauberton and Sharon Beeler, as well as members Phyllis Lindborn and Kathy Schilling, were instrumental leaders in the initial years of the conference. Speakers at that second conference included me. Oh, well, my name's here, Susan Shodal. That was only a few years ago, right? It wasn't that long ago, okay. And Elaine Brubacher. Other members who were STEM conference speakers in the late 1990s were past President Erica Wilson, Jerry Staley, and Cheryl Jordan. Many of them and dozens of other members are still volunteering their time each year at our Redlands STEM conference. Over 15,000 8th grade girls have participated in the conference. That's pretty incredible, which will mark its 29th anniversary in 2023. Because we created the Math Science Seminar and the library program at Orangewood High School, Redlands received education medals of honor from both the Redlands Unified and the San Bernardino County School Districts. By the time Redlands celebrated its 50th anniversary in 1997, we had secured 5-star recognition status from AAUW National for 3 years in a row. In the first 2 decades of the 21st century, many more women, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Sarah Palin, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Amy Coney Barrett, Ketanji Brown Jackson, to name just a few, have gained national prominence. All right, here come the tongue twisters for me. So in 2001, by raising funds from their local businesses and charities, the San Gorgonio Pass AAUW Redlands members established a second math science conference for the Banning and Beaumont 8th grade girls at Mount San Jacinto College. Past President Renee Reiswig, who's back there, participated as a speaker at that conference, as well as the Redlands Conference for many years. With additional locally raised money, the past members also established Tech Trek, a week-long camp program for 7th grade girls. Both programs are still going strong. Over 2,700, think about that, 2,700 pass area 8th grade girls have attended the conference, and about 75 7th grade girls have received full Tech Trek scholarships to date. We now offer Tech Trek scholarships to Redlands 7th graders and plan to add UKIPA to the program this year. Redlands branch members began to volunteer as ushers once a year at the Redlands Bowl, and the branch joined with Santa Club to present LunaFest, an annual festival of films by women directors. We have added more, though, to our list of community action projects: hosting a home for the annual YMCA Holiday Home Tour, supporting Family Services annual backpack giveaway program, and participating in the Adult Literacy Chat program sponsored by the Friends of A.K. Smiley Library. In 2013, Lily Ledbetter, who was the author of Grace and Grit, was the featured speaker at a branch meeting. Now, her presence was secured through the efforts of member Jane Roberts, known nationally as the co-founder of the 3 Million Friends campaign, which raises money for the United Nations Population Fund. Think about this statistic. Jane has raised over $4 million to improve reproductive and maternal health worldwide. Yes. Now, unfortunately, Ledbetter's 2007 gender discrimination lawsuit against Goodyear Tire was backed by AA's Legal Advocacy Fund, but it was denied relief before the U.S. Supreme Court. It did, however, result in Congress passing the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act in 2009. Now we're coming to my favorite word, Nick Whistle, okay? The College University Partnership Committee, which sends local college students to Nick Whistle, which is the National Conference for College Women Student Leaders, and leads Start Smart workshops, became one of our community action programs in 2014. Now, this slide shows the first co-chairs, past presidents Kathy Toyster and Sharon Beeler, with our first Nick Whistle Scholarship recipient, Chelsea Glynn. Chelsea joined Congressman Pete Aguilar's staff in Washington, D.C., and now serves as a policy advisor to Representative Shelley Pingree of Maine. This was after she graduated from the U of R. Assisted by member Denise Davis, in 2015, the College University Partnership Committee hosted an Elect Her conference for U of R and Crafton Hills College students to encourage local women college students to run for office in campus and local elections. The annual coeducational speech trek competition, initiated in Redlands by past President Patty Ahern, along with our award of scholarships for graduating girls at all 4 Redlands high schools, have led us to develop a greater AAUW presence in our local secondary schools. Our 2018 local speech trek winner, Caroline Irvine, won first place at the California State Convention. But don't think it's all work, and we have to have a little bit of fun. And you can't say we don't have. Can you say we don't have fun, Susan, looking like this up here tonight? It's a lot of fun. Just for fun and fellowship, we've recently added bunko and hiking, as well as a second monthly California cuisine gathering to the interest groups.
Yeah, she's right. We don't usually dress like this. Our branch has always been active in working to get out the vote for regional as well as national elections. In early 2020, we went all out to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Past Presidents Marie Mitchell and Sue Wallace, as well as many other members, wore white to mark the occasion. The Public Policy Committee, with the support of the University of Redlands, held a well-attended public forum featuring our local candidates for the 23rd State Senate District 2020 primary election. In both 2021 and 2022, we participate in Lobby Week, an AAUW California sponsored virtual event featuring meetings with local legislators to advocate for bills that promote AAUW priorities benefiting women and girls. Under the inspired leadership of then Presidents Sue Wallace and Erica Wilson, our branch and board meetings, as well as the majority of our programs and interest groups, met by Zoom throughout the pandemic. They learned a lot from doing that, and we learned that some meetings actually draw more attendance and proceed more efficiently on Zoom. Interesting. Throughout the months of social distancing, our Branches and Twigs newsletter, ably crafted each month by Kay Dobberton, kept us abreast of AUW news and opportunities to connect. Our branch even added a Zoom-only interest group, Racial Justice, whose members led the way in planning our booth at the 2022 Redlands Juneteenth celebration. Stepping up our branch commitment to developing greater diversity, equity, and inclusion was one of our branch achievements, recognized by AAUW National when we were once again awarded 5-star recognition in 2022. Gathering, good for us. Gathering together to celebrate Juneteenth was a great way to kick off our 75th anniversary year. And Barbara,
So let's just say, we've come a long way, baby. Let's keep going. Congratulations to all of us.
Well, I would like to thank those ladies for putting together a fabulous script. And for Catherine helping us with the slides. And actually Catherine and Susan are the ones who put the slides together. I think they did a fabulous job. Thank you. What a fun and colorful review of our branch Ascetigus history. It's amazing what we've accomplished, and we hope to go far soon. As we reflect on this evening and our work in support of women and girls, we note that the world has changed in many ways. You've seen a lot of it tonight. We've experienced a lot lately. Even over the last 2 years, as we learned to deal with the pandemic, we learned that we're flexible, we're creative, we know how to do many things, and we can keep moving forward. Examples that we've never lost sight of our goals to keep moving change forward is, of course, the right to vote, receiving a higher education for women, and a passage of Title IX. We have some materials in the back about Title IX that you might be interested in. We actually had a local woman who passed away just recently who was a kayaker. And in the 1930s, she could not be supported because the Olympic Committee didn't give her funding. She's a woman. So we've come a long way, baby, yes. As time passes, our focus evolves such that AAUW must examine its mission, work, advocacy, operations, and programming to ensure that our work now centers on racial and gender equity at its core. That is our future, and we think our future is bright. So we can't move ahead without considering our past, however. There's one little footnote I want to make. In the late 1870s, Dr. Edward Clark of Philadelphia, a very prominent physician at the time, shared his view with the New England Women's Club that women will likely turn sickly or even become infertile as a result of a higher education. So it's even the fact that he was even confused himself, because when he introduced his talk, he said he wanted to promote a higher education for women. Then he goes on and makes that statement, and it's like, that's a little bit crazy. So aren't we glad that the position was not correct, since we're all educated women here? Well, not all women, but we're all educated. So we believe our future is bright as we continue to focus on women and girls who want an education and deserve our support. How do we also focus and solve racism in schools and the workplace? That's an area that AAUW is focusing on these next few years. Our new DEI initiative begins that process. And we have to ask, why not count on success and move this agenda forward together. I would like here to mention that Dr. Martinez is with us today from the University School of Education, and we're creating a relationship where we can work together going forward on DEI issues. So we're thankful for that. So we can't predict what will be in 2042 or how our world will actually evolve. AAUW Redlands has shown that its members and its leadership are willing to step out in front to make change, so we know what we will be doing. Based on continuing goals, you know where we mutually need to improve. Will you join us? We hope you will, so we can benefit from all voices working in concert towards a common goal. Let's all get involved and try for that dramatic change. Thank you very much for being here tonight. It's been a joy to have you, and we're very happy with our results. Thank you.
Okay, now we always have a brief, promise it will be brief, business meeting, which we will hold right at this point in time. So if you came from a school district or you are a guest and you're anxious to go, please feel free to do that. Those of us who are staying are going to just go briefly through some business. We had in the back were the minutes. Did everyone get a chance to view the minutes? If you wanted to pick them up on your way out, I would like to have us say, let's see, how do we do this? I don't think we need a motion to accept them. I'd like to move that we accept the minutes, and we're going to file them away. So all in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. And now we will move on to the treasurer's report. The financials are in the back as well. Please feel free to pick them up. All those in favor of accepting the financial statement at this time? And those opposed? Thank you. You're such a good group. We're going to quickly go over some old business. Our branch is looking for a member who is technically savvy to help us at meetings with Zoom and other technical issues. Please let me know if you can help, or if you know of anyone, let us know. The STEM Conference Committee is on the lookout for additional speakers for both the Mount San Jacinto Conference in January and the Redlands Conference in March. We are interested in recruiting women to work in STEM, who be interested in speaking. If you are that person or you know of anyone, please recommend them to Pam Ford or Catherine Brown. As you know, we are selling footlighter tickets. There we go. And please, we're going to see the Mousetrap this year. It's a great murder mystery. It will be held on October 20th. This is always a big fundraiser for us, and it's just plain fun. There's wine, snacks, good company, door prizes, and always a great play. Please buy tickets at the back and invite your non-AAUW friends. You can buy tickets here tonight with credit cards, cash, or checks. You can also go on our website and buy tickets. My, how we have grown and improved. Look at that. Our next board meeting is September 12th. It's a Monday at 6:30. And our October branch meeting is our membership meeting. It's always a big one for us. It's October 8th at 9 a.m. And for your information, you will be receiving an October meeting invitation online. And you can forward it to someone that you would like to invite to join us. Men can also join the AAUW. Footlighters fundraiser, October 20th, 6:30. And I would just like to say that we've loved having you all here tonight to celebrate with us. It's been great fun. Onward and upward, ladies. Um, yes, yes. Don't forget the roses for your birthday, girl. No, no, hold on a minute. Oh, yeah. Take the bouquet, don't take the vases. Thank you, Eileen. They were gorgeous. The whole thing was gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, people, for coming. We very much. Say thank you.